What's up, world? What's up, Zion? It's Prince Easy coming at you again, once more, as usual. And of course, I do have a couple slides, right? As we try to update each other, pertaining to the things that are unfolding before our eyes, right? So, before we get to those slides, I want to issue a fair use disclaimer, right, for the copywritten material that's going to be shared in this here video, right? So, yeah, let's dive into it without further ado. Yeah, new accusations are now falling around. Well, this is how they get to precisely target children, right? And if you care to look at what children are consuming these days, it's mostly demonic, to say the least, right? So here they are, right, separating the parent and the child. They have their own little corner that they can find them at. Well, whoever believes this piece of news here must be a special kind of stupid. Must be. What is this we, Benanok? What is this we stuff? We. What is this we stuff? Well, as per their estimation, they have already sold the war, right? That's just time to wing it right now, to fight it. You know? You can read for yourself. Yeah. 6 million. Truly. Object of horror, huh? Well, this is not enough. This is like early catechism level of discussion, right? Even these ones here, still looking for customers. Hey, near Trump's thing, right? Iranian war reaches US skies. Drone scare near Trump's jet. Okay? This is them trying to sell you the war. Okay? I heard also France apparently joined this whole ordeal. Well, shall find out, won't we? Again, this is them trying to sell you the war, right? So they have tried to take out Trump not just once, but multiple times as per their narrative, right? And now the jet and, of course, the synagogue. So it is not just an Israeli problem, it's an American and Israeli problem, and we need to go to war together like this, you know?
There's a new book I'm reading, Tiny Hats Selling the Slaves. Oh yeah, they forgot to mention all of this in the Rockefeller schools, and people say that's not true. Well, you should read this one. This guy was a rabbi who wrote this one. And you know the term layaway? That came from when rabbis were selling slaves. Yes. And this has pages and pages of all the auctions and the rabbis selling the slaves. Check this, Jacob Cohen. Okay. owned a plantation. Yes, all the plantations were ran by the Tiny Hats. 294 enslaved Africans. He was the president of the synagogue. You can just look this stuff up. And what got even deeper is I found Charleston, 1825. That was the original place of the slave marts. And they own the merchants, they own the ships, they own everything. And look at this. Charleston, Tiny Hat, slave traders. Now, since the Tiny Hats own all the newspapers, if they tried to run away, they'd put an ad up trying to get the slaves back. Then it got deeper when I found out that the Tiny Hats owned the police too. So if people tried to run away, they owned both sides. And it's wild because there was only two people who actually spoke up about this. That's why it's hidden from you. And also when Christopher Columbus came over here, now you understand who Christopher Columbus was. And this is why the Tiny Hats, the Charzarians, have been kicked out of all these countries. Now you start to understand.
The jig is up.
Well, there's a new book.
You can pause and read for yourself. Yeah, he's asking everybody to foot the bill. Last time it was the UK or NATO rather, now it's the Arab countries, right? This racket of security, now they have to like pay, you know, like like George Galloway used to say, right? It's like the mob. Oh, this is not gonna end well. Right? Forever immortalized. Bush. Hey, congratulations, I guess. Well, we talked about this a couple days, or rather videos back. It seems that it has passed. Well, let me just tell you this. You shall pay. Okay? You shall pay. That's just a friendly reminder. Yeah, they want the whole region to jump into the war. Trump is asking for all of you to jump in the war. Israel is asking them, all of them, they have different approaches, of course, right? The Israelis, you know, their approach is, you know, to bomb your sites and then blame the Iranians. Right? Trump will just ask you directly, or, I don't know, rage bait you into getting involved, right? And of course, we do have some volunteers, right? All over the place, right? People who are willing to send their people to die over there for the synagogue of Satan. All I say to them, please. Bunker busters. Yeah, quite a firework. This is what I hear. Should they? Yes, I think the whole world should come up against these two idiotic nations, the Americans and the Israelis. They're out of control. They're out of touch. We're getting there, but slowly and painfully, right? Further expansion on this. Yeah, what also came out recently, right? A lot of things did not make sense, but they felt like they needed to update us pertaining to this matter, as if it was we bought what they sold us the first time, right? The assembling of the gun, the deassembling of the gun, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's fishy, suspicious. Yeah, these prisons, they need to be a package. prepared for these people who are imprisoned there. Yeah. Right? They be raping people with brooms over there. On the latest, right? They have to sell that patriotism and stuff. This is what I'm hearing also. After, of course, a missile was sent their way. This is that further expansion on that subject matter. And there are a lot of them over there. A lot of them. They should burn like yesterday. Right? Quoting the Palantir guy. Yeah, our software is used to kill people, but you know, trying to maneuver his way out of that. Yeah, like I said a couple days back, they are meticulously replacing people with machinery. Why? Because things are out of control, and for them to keep them in control, they have to have some sort of leverage, right? And we had these conversations about 2 years back, right? That at one point your flights are gonna be restricted. It is part of the whole situation, right? Of course, he's back. You know, he's back at it. Maybe the NATO nations will fold, including NATO. Not NATO, Turkey rather. And maybe Turkey will jump into the war, you know, to protect an ally. You know, you never know. Well, that's the end of the slides. Well, one thing is for sure, right? They believe that they have already manufactured consent, and they already have your consent to go in and basically liberate the Iranian people. No, the Iranian oil. Why? They need to rule the world. You know, you cannot be telling people what to do. Well, where does that leave nations that have oil? In a sticky situation. But hey, it's gonna go the way it's gonna go, right? What do they say? If you wanna make God laugh, make a plan. Right? Because what remains to be a fact, there's only one of you that is able to surely implement a plan. So all of this, yeah, this is the big ass bait, right? And some people are gonna get trapped by this scrumptious bait, and of course they're gonna get destroyed hard. Okay, so yeah, the war has been sold. Right now it's just doing it. We shall see in the coming few days. Prince Easy, I'm gonna put a pin on it right there. Love you. Bye.